Good morning and a warm welcome to the students of Smt.R.S.Kalaria Primary School English Medium Junagadh. My name is Rajshree Lakhani and today we are going to study about a very important topic of social, that is about civics, whose name is human resources. Now here, day by day, before the independence and after the independence, there is a vast increase in the population. During the early ages, as people were not getting the medical facilities, transportation, the death ratio was more. But nowadays, from 1947, we got independence from the hands of Britishers on 15th August 1947. Then we just come into contact with the latest technology, and now after the independence from 1951 to here 2011, for 7 times we have just have the calculation of the population. So how the population is being counted, let us see here. What is census? Collection and categorizing of information about people living in a country or any particular region of a country is known as census. We got independence on 15th August 1947, but we started working on our constitution on 26th January 1950. Later on, from 1951 to the last census was being done in the year 2011, and in the year 2011 a unique thing was being done by the government of our country India, that was to providing a unique ID number and an identity card number to each and every citizen. So each and every citizen of the nation has got one unique UID number, so that if one person has got that particular number, the other person is not getting the same number from the government. So in the year 2011, a unique thing was being done by the government. Now here again in 2021, the census is going to be done by the government to know the population of the particular nation. Now here, a human resource is the human capital of a country. The development of a nation depends on its human capital. Always the area doesn't matter. We are on the second rank on the matter of the particular area wise, but it is being just concluded that area doesn't matter, but the needed is the particular human capital. That which type of the people are living in the particular country. Doctors, engineers, literate people are being foremost for the development of the nation. Now here, this is done in order to take necessary measures. Every 10 years, it is the census is being done, and the reason behind to do the census is to know that the population is increasing or decreasing, and what are the facilities is going to be granted by the government. Now here, census is mandatory, that is compulsory in order to plan out country's 5-year plan development. So here nowadays the government has started the particular counting of the animals and birds. Also the domestic animals are being counted by the government. So by this way, every 10 years from the year 1951 till 2011, for 7 times we have just the government has just done the census to know about the population. Is the ratio should not completely goes down or not should completely rise up. So to have the balance in the population, this every 10 years the census is being done. Here it is being observed that from the year 1951 to 2011, for 7 times the census is being carried out. Now here, an estimate of the population of India. The total land area of our country is 32,87,263 square kilometer, which in percentage, if we observe, that is 2.42% of the world's total land area. More than 16% of the world's population live in our country India. India is of diversity, because here after the independence, after the partition of India and Pakistan refused that they are not going to allow any other community except Muslim to live in the Pakistan. But our Gandhiji along with other leaders just decided to allow all the people, all the community people to live in our country India, and because of that only our India is known as the land of diversity. So here comparing with 100%, more than 16% of the total population living in our country India. Now here we are coming on the 7th rank in the term of the area population. Now here after the first ranking of the population among all the countries is of China, and the second number is being observed and is India stands second in terms of population after China. But it is just carried out the survey that in the year 2050, India, if there is completely increasing of the population, then in 2050 India will be going on the first rank and China will be on the second rank. Qualitative, human population is also called human resources. Quantity is always needed, but along with the quantity, the quality is must. Many a time when we are visiting to the hotels and restaurants, we are always demanding the qualitative food. As the money is how much, we are always demanding the good quality of food. In the same way, in a particular nation, the development of the nation is always depend upon the qualitative, that how are the quality of the people living in the particular country. Now here skilled citizens like doctors, educationalists, engineers, sportsmen, businessmen, farmers, artisans, laborers and other are responsible citizens for the human resources. So always already said you that the qualitative people are always needed for the development of the nation. Population of India has increased by 18.1 crores in a decade. That means in 10 years itself, between 2001 to 2011. The population of India in 2001 was 102.87 crores, which has increased to 101.01 crores in the year 2011. So, as the population is increasing, it is a particular tension and a pressure on the central government, that is Delhi, that they have to provide each and every facility for the food, shelter, education, for the roads facility, transportation facility. So, as the population is increasing day by day, it is a moral duty for the government to provide each and every facility to the people of the nation. Here we can observe that from the year 2001 to 2011 there is an increase in the population, that is 18.1 crore. Now here we are, the particular increase in the population is the natural phenomenon, but some of the factors are responsible for the population growth. First of all, the immigration of the people from one country to the another. Many a time for the all-round development, for the education, for the health facilities, for the transportation, one people or one group of the people are moving from one place to another for their all-round development, and for example industrial development, trading development or the education. Many a time we have observed that some of the facilities which we are not getting from the part of the particular place where we are living, we are always migrating from that particular place to the another place. Now here, as nowadays comparing with 10 decades, that means 20 years, there is the decrease in the death ratio. The reason behind that is we are getting different type of medical facilities, vaccination programs, and because of that only the schemes and the particular things are being given by the government, so that the particular female infanticides and things are not being happening in our our country India. Now here, earlier, the rate of population growth was low as the infant, the girl child was being killed out like the Doodh Piti, female mortality and rate was high. During the early ages, the ladies were being killed out with the particular social evil customs like Doodh Piti, Sati system. Widows were not being allowed to do the second marriage and many things. Child marriages were being done. The ladies, the pregnant ladies were not getting the facilities of the medical treatment, and because of that only during the pregnancy time they are, as they are having the lack of facility of the medical treatment, they are being killed out. They were being having the death. Many a time during the early ages, now we are comparing with the early ages nowadays, the government is providing the nutritious. They have started midday meal for the children, for the particular we can say that the poor people who are not getting the food, nutritious food, as they are, when they are going for, it is compulsory education given by the government, free and compulsory education given by the government to the poor children from the age of 6 to 14 years, and it is compulsory. After the education, they are providing midday meal to the poor children who are not getting the nutritious food. Nowadays, during the early ages, the pregnant ladies were being, and the small kids, as they were not getting the vaccination facility, they were being having the death. And because of that, nowadays, comparing with the early ages, we are getting more and more facilities for the transportation. During the early ages, when the pregnant ladies want the particular facility of the transportation, they were not getting, as they were not having the good roads, not having the good transportation. But nowadays the government is providing a special vehicle named as 108, and by this way we are having the facility of having the transportation of patients from the house to the hospital. So here nowadays we are getting different types of nutritious food. When the pregnant lady is giving a birth to a child, a medical treatment along with a nutritious food is being provided by the government to that particular lady and a child. Nowadays, and the reason behind that is the lower death ratio in last 2 decades, that is the government is providing different types of facilities to the people. Now here the number of the pregnant women dying due to the unavailability of proper medical aid was completely high. Now here, during the early ages, when we didn't get independence from the hands of Britishers, as the Britishers were there in our country India, and Lord Dalhousie has started the first railway line which was being between Mumbai to Thane. Now as Britishers have started the facility for their proper administration, that becomes the boon to our country India. During the early ages, we don't have the facilities of the transportation, as the roads were not at a good proportion. So here medical facilities were not as developed and accessible as now. But nowadays, during the early ages, the viral diseases, and many of the people were dying due to the viral diseases like typhoid, jaundice, cholera. But nowadays, as a child is being born, vaccination programs is being done by the government, so that polio drops and all the things, facilities are being given by the government, so that more and more death ratio should be going to be go down. Now here there are many factors responsible for an increase in the birth rate. Here the reasons are here. First of all, the illiteracy. Second one, that is superstitions. Third, that is having the orthodox thinking about the differentiate between a baby boy and baby girl. Fourth, that is social customs, evil customs, that there should be one baby boy to just run out this particular next generation, future generation. Child marriages during the early ages, now it is become the compulsion with the act of the government that a girl should have minimum 18 years and a boy should have 21 years to have the marriage. Nowadays, during the early ages, there were the child marriages, poverty, that is the big issue for our country India, and the widows remarriage. Now here, what is the density of population? Now here, along with the census, density of population is being carried out. The average number of the people living per square kilometer is termed as the density of population. After having the census done, along with the area wise, that in this particular square kilometer, how many population is residing. Apart from that, how many males are there, how many females are there. After having the calculation of the male and the female, they are being differentiated in the age difference, age structure, that how many people are coming in the category of the children, how many people population is coming in the category of the adults, and how many population is coming in the category of the senior citizens. Now population density is associated with social, economic and geographical condition. Population, now it is being clear. Suppose in Gujarat the population is this much, then in the other, it is not in the class, in the school also. Suppose you are studying in the 8th standard, the 4 section are not having the equal number of these students. In the same way, in a country itself, our country India is being having the 29 states, but each and every state is having different population. In the same way, each and every country, a part of the world, are varies from the population in a term of the population. Each and every state, each and every city, and each and every country have different population. Now here, most probably, we are able to see more population in the areas where there is a particular high facility of the fertile alluvial plain of river, deltas, industrial areas, etc. Where the people are getting good facility, the people are migrating to have different types of facilities to live a peaceful life. But the population, on the other hand, we are able to see less density of population, because the reason behind that is, if the areas are like desert, mountainous regions and forest, there is less availability of the people residing on that particular part of the particular area. Now here, the difference between the birth rate and the death rate. Now here, the total life birth in 1 year per 1,000 person in a given area is known as the birth ratio. For the past few years, the birth rate in India have been constantly declining, that is decreasing, and the reason behind, people exercise family planning more than before. Now the people become literate, they are educated, and because of that only, comparing with the early ages, the birth rate is decreasing day by day, and the reason behind, they are having a gap between two children of the 5 years, and they are having the family planning, as they are not thinking for the superstition, blind beliefs, evil customs, and they are as educated and literate, they are following the family planning. Now here, the death rate, as in the birth rate, the particular 1,000 person in a particular given area is known as, for a year, is known as the birth rate. In the same way, the death rate, the number of the deaths in 1 year per 1,000 person in a specific area is termed as the death rate. Now the death rate never ever is going to be zero, because the one who has taken the birth dies too. Hence the death rate can never be zero. So here, for a particular area, for a particular space where in a year 1,000 person are being birthed is known as the birth rate, while in a particular specific area where 1,000 person are being dying in a specific year is known as the death rate. Now here, migration. What is migration? When the people, when a person is moving from one place to another for their all-round development. They are known as the migration. Many a time a student is migrating from one place to another for the education. The person is moving from one place to another for their development, for the industries, for the earning, and that is known as the migration. Now here, socio-cultural needs also compel people to keep migrating. Many a time we are able to see that some of the members from the family are living in one of the area and other are residing or in the another area. So to have the socio-cultural, they are migrating from one place to another. The rural population is always attracted towards the urban areas due to the better facilities for the education, for the transportation, and many of the facilities for the health facility. The villagers are moving to the metro cities. Now, currently 62% of the population of Gujarat lives in rural areas, while 38% of the people are living in the urban areas. So here, by this way, we are able to see the death rate, birth rate, and the migration of the people from one place to another. Now here, population composition, the classification. Already I have said you that after having the total population, the population is being divided into different various categories, and the categories are here male, female. Apart from that, age group, the difference between the children, adult, and the seniors. The third, that is literacy rate. How many population is being having the literacy in a part of our country, India. The fourth, rural urban areas. How many people are living in the village area? How many people are living in the city? The fifth one, that is religions. In our country, India, already I have explained you that India is known as a land of diversity where Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Parsi all are living together. So after having the particular counting of the population is being divided on the basis of the religions. Linguistic group, that means all languages. In our country, India, now there are many of the languages, and Gujarat is also being divided on the basis, established on the basis of the linguistic, that means the language. And the seventh, that is the professional group. So this seven and more, apart from that, they are making the population composition. Now the age structure, after having the particular counting of the total population, the population is being divided into three categories, that is of the children, adults, and the senior citizen. The children from 0 to 14 years, adults are coming in the category from 15 to 59 years, and above 59 years are coming in the senior citizen. As per the census of 2001, 35 to 40% of total population is below 18 years, whereas 7 to 10% is of the senior citizen. Rest, the remaining are all coming in the adults category. Now Japan is a particular place where there is a great proportion and a category of the senior citizen. We are always to see a gap between the first category and the third category. The particular thinking and the particular ideas and the emotions is having the difference between the first category and the third category. Now here, literacy rate. The development of any country always depends along with the population on the literacy rate of that country. Literacy is also the key to economic development. How much is the people are educated in a particular nation or a country, the future of that particular nation or country always being brightened. Now here, the definition of literacy was fixed at the time of the census 1991. According to this particular definition was being given to the literacy rate. Any individual who is 6 years or about 6 years who can read, write, and understand any of the particular single language may be considered as literate. And day by day, after the independence, we got independence from the hands of Britishers on 15th August 1947. But later on, before that, before independence, as we were having one intention only, to free our country India from the hands of the Britishers, but later on we realized the need and the particular necessity for the education, and nowadays after the independence there is a increase in the ratio of the literacy rate, and that is a good thing for our development of the nation. Now here, occupational structure. Occupational structure is being divided into two categories: earning population and dependent population. Now day by day, due to the rapid industrialization, the particular earning population, that means the people who are earning and living their livelihood, dependent, they are dependent on someone for their livelihood, they are known as the dependent population. But day by day now, due to the rapid industrialization, the particular amount, the particular number of the earning population is increasing. Now here, change in the population composition. Now there are two types of changing in the population composition. First, that is quantitative changes, and the second, that is qualitative changes. Many a time we have observed that sometimes we notice a rise or fall in the population, and the reason behind in many of the areas we are able to see a completely increasing of the population, where somewhere we are able to see the decrease of the population. This happens due to the population growth and migration of the people from one place to another. For their all-round development, people, the person, for their all-round development, moving from one place to the another. Now here, qualitative changes. The changes observed in the level of health and educate indicate qualitative changes. Now qualitative changes is having the two groups: religious group, linguistic group. Religious group. Now after the independence, already I have explained you that after the partition of India and Pakistan on 14th August 1947, before one day of independence, the Pakistani country have just said that only the Muslims are allowed to live in our country. But in our country India, all the leaders along with Gandhiji just allow each and every community people to live in our country India, and because of that only, India is known as a secular state. People who follow different religions stay together. Now in our country India, the first ranking goes to Hindu people, that is being followed by Muslim, then Sikh, Parsi, Isai, all are living together, and because of that only, India is known as the secular state. Linguistic group, that means a group of the languages. Our Gujarat was also being established on 1st May 1960 on the basis of the language being partitioned from Mumbai, Maharashtra. India is a large country with the diversity as its prime characteristic. Currently, recently, there are 22 languages are being used by the people of our country India, in which Hindi, we are having our mother tongue, but apart from that, Hindi is known as the national language, while English is known as the international language. So by this way, we come to know the difference between the qualitative changes and the quantitative changes. Now let us study the last topic of the chapter, that is national population policy. Now the population of a nation is its wealth and strength. Now here, if the human resource is educated, trained, healthy and strong, then it will foster the development of the nation. So always it is being said that area doesn't matter a lot, but which type of quality people and how much quantity people are living, that is the foremost. If the quantity is more and the quality people is very less, then the development of the nation can never be done. Now here, to keep the pace with the, still also India is known as the developing nation, because some of the points So here, to keep the pace with the developed nation, it is very important that the human resource is developed. Along with the quantitative, the quality people should always must be there in our country, India. Now here, overpopulation is one such factor which has to be dealt with as per the population policy adopted since 1957. And to have the balanced population in our country, India, government is providing different types of facilities to the people of our country, India. Already I said you that the government is providing midday meal, nutritious food, vaccination programs, treatment facilities, health and education to the people, so that people are knowing, as they are going to be educated, they are going to know about the controlling of the population in our country, India. Now here, the two slogans are being just given here. If there will be healthy India, there will be always the prosperous India. That country is prosperous whose citizens are mentally and physically prosperous. So here I am ending the chapter. Let us have the recap of, in a short, let us have the recap of the chapter. Now in this human resources, we have studied about the census. After the independence, that was on 15th August 1947, we got independence from the hands of Britishers, but we started working from 26 January 1950. So first census was being done in the year 1951. The last census was being done in the year 2011, in which for 7 times the census is being done now. The reason behind having the census is to know the population is increasing or decreasing in a particular nation. In the last census, that was in the year 2011, a unique thing was being done by the government to provide a UID number, an identity card to the people for their identification. Even along with the population, the animals, birds, domestic animals are also being counted by the government. Apart from that, we have just studied about the particular points which are creating us in the particular hemorrhage for this development of the nation, that is overpopulation, literacy ratio is going down day by day. The population during the early ages, there was the death ratio, and the reason behind that was the ladies, the children were not getting the facility from the government. Nowadays, the pregnant ladies were always getting the facilities from the government. The poor ladies who are not getting the medical treatment, nowadays we are able to see that along with the free and compulsory education being provided by the government, they are providing the midday meal as a nutritious food to the poor children. Now the transportation facility is absolutely superb in our country, India. Then we have studied about the birth ratio and the death ratio. In the birth ratio, in a particular year, 1,000 persons are being birthed in a specific period of, in a specific area is known as the birth rate. In the same, the death rate in a particular specific area, in a year, 1,000 persons are having the death is known as the death rate. We have just studied about the migration of the people from one place to another for their all-round development. Apart from that, we have studied about the literacy. What is literacy? A child, a particular person having the age of 6 or about the age of 6 years who is able to read, write and understand any specific particular one language is known as the literate person. So here we have studied about the things and human resources. Along with the quantitative, the qualitative is foremost. So if there are going to be skilled, educated, trained people, then healthy, wealthy people, then the particular nation is going to be developed more and more. So here I am ending my topic. Thank you and have a nice day.